So it's been a long while since a warrior has topped the meta, but with Gravy in full swing, at least Dawnblade Dorinthea is eating quite well. One problem though is that she can't match necessarily all of the other heroes. But today's guest, the warrior hero of Hamburg, showed us on stream even that our girl is by no means out with a textbook display into a Vin set. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando.
And when you're on 1 life and Dorinthea has 5 cards, it's really hard to put the puzzle together. It's even harder when Iron Song Determination is in the hand. Dominate can be found and can almost certainly guarantee enough damage through the remaining equipment of Dominic.
And that's the payoff of Kaloyan having been careful throughout the game, blocking so diligently throughout the game, meaning he had enough life to, at this point, just throw some cards in front of, throw his life total in front of the last attack that came out of Dominic, and he knew this last hand. If it's not lethal, it's 4-card tempo, and he can do it again next turn.
4 block is overpowered to make it much larger. We see the sly grin from Dominic Blasius. It will be enough to bring Kaloyan all the way up to 5-1. Dorinthea Ironsong making a charge this weekend here in Hamburg.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dice Commando for video talking about the hero we all love here, which is our OG warrior Dorinthea, and with her signature weapon, the Dawnblade, as the game intended. So today we are joined here by Kaloyan Nikov, who's going to spend some time with us today talking the state of Dorinthea. Welcome, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so the reason I reached out to you was there was this Dorinthea playing against a Vincett in Hamburg, and it was like, for anybody who knows how to play Dorinthea, it was pretty much a textbook game. Like it was awesomely executed. So I kind of reached out, and then through the internets we were able to hook up and start talking. So why don't you let the folks know about yourself, your background, your history with Fab, and all that.
Okay. Well, I have been playing Flesh and Blood for something like 2 years and 7-8 months. I started just before Dusk Till Dawn was released. So my story actually has not been very varied in heroes. When I started, I was looking for a relatively accessible hero, not the most expensive. And what I really liked is the vibe of Mechanologist. And I was looking for which hero would teach me the game as good and as fast as possible. And the biggest recommendation was essentially Dash IE, the OG Dash, and because she could support this hybrid plan. And so I was actually playing Dash IE for like 1.5 years, almost 2 years. Also at Pro Tour London, I went with Dash IE Hanabi Blaster Boost build because I had personal things going on in life. I didn't have time to prepare, so I decided, hey, let's roll and see if it happens. If it doesn't, it is what it is, and then that's it. And then I switched for So this is so far how I have started, and I start with OG Dash, and I'm in the second team now in the Netherlands that I have switched to. I used to play in Utrecht, now I play in Rotterdam area.
Okay. Well, so that's interesting. So you said that you've basically been a mech the whole time. So why Dorinthea? What landed you on Dorinthea? And then the second question there is, why Dawnblade?
Yes. So what happened was that once Dash IE was out, I was really looking for something similar that would give me a hybrid plan. And until then, I was just jamming .io, but I was just not enjoying the deck. It was not clicking with me as much. And one day I talked with a local at the Armory, and they're playing the best well-known Dorinthea player in the country, Thomas. And he told me that, hey, Dorinthea can do hybrid plan. Yeah? You can do the Dawnblade and you can do the Decimator Great Axe. And I had already noticed that online. And then it just clicked for me, hey, maybe I can try that. And then I ordered immediately all the warrior cards without even testing it or whatever. I was like, I was hooked. The moment I saw it can do hybrid plan, I was there. And once the cards arrived, I have practiced a bit. And then, yeah, just went to the calling. And I think what helped a lot is because I was also at Copenhagen. I was playing there Dash IO, managed to make day 2 there with it, but I already had noticed on that day that Dorinthea was actually probably the best positioned deck, and it really surprised me that unfortunately it didn't make top 8, but it was just the positioning was so good of that deck in that meta, on that event as well. And this is also one more reason why I got hooked up further on the deck. The matchup against Gravy that I saw was the Copenhagen was full of. I played 6 Gravy matchups, so I was like, okay, Dorinthea seems like a very, very, very logical choice to go further in this meta and to learn a new hero, explore a new class, and I love it. I just love it so far.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, so you speak to Gravy. I don't think anybody out there is not aware that Dawnblade into allies is absolutely awesome and very favored. But you spoke that it was very well positioned in the meta. Is that the only reason, or is she doing well into other heroes like Syndra?
So I believe Syndra is also a good matchup. It's like even if they board more defense reactions, depends on how you build the Dory though. But I'm quite certain it's favored because Dory, you also play defense reactions yourself, and then you can cover. You can pretty much block and present good attacks back, and your fridge is better, and you're kind of racing, but you're already ahead since the start. So, yes, it's not unbeatable for Syndra, but it's definitely Dory favored in my opinion. Depends on the Dory build again, though, but it's in the general Downblade, more aggressive builds would beat Syndra.
Okay, and then you spoke that a big draw to you was obviously the swing of being able to use the Decimator. So can you kind of talk us through the general plan of, when which? I mean, I think that, the Gravy one speaks for itself, and obviously something like a Riptide I think speaks for itself. But how about other matches where you'd be using Decimator instead of Dawnblade?
Well, I have been trying out Decimator the last. Also one month or so. I'm constantly either getting it out or getting it in the deck. I even tried stuff like Jubil Spellbane. The idea of Decimator is I feel you want to build a Dorinthea that supports at least at the very minimum 27 blues. I would say ideally at least 30, 33. Because what you want to be doing is you will be facing stuff like Florian, you'll be facing stuff like Verdance. You want to have at least one blue to do the AB and then the one blue to send the swing. But sometimes I still feel it might be still even because Downblade is just such an overrated weapon. You can present and force opponents blocks and then just fatigue them by the fact that you can tunic, attack once with the blade, or sometimes just pitch a red, attack with the blade. It's more convenient because then you keep the blues for AB. And I'm still not sure that Decimator Axe is the way to go. I have not found a build in which I feel confidently it works. But it definitely, of course, works like something against like Riptide. It's immediately, this is what I would play.
Right. Yeah, nothing worse than losing automatically to a Riptide. I can tell you from my years of experience. Okay, so, in terms of its meta position, what is your, you already kind of talked about Gravy and Syndra for us. So then into Verdance, obviously she's, a big deal right now. How do you approach that match in general, which is, historically Warriors don't do great against Arcane, right? How do you approach that match?
Yeah, so in the last 2-3 weeks, this has been also the biggest question on my head, constantly trying to fiddle with the build, improve the Verdance matchup, because that one is really the toughest nut to crack. Out of my 4 Swiss matches the last weekend, for 4 losses in Swiss the last weekend playing ProQuest, 3 have been to Verdance, because even with Decimator Axe, even with trying to Dawnblade race, they just have too many directs. And so I still believe the right path forward is you want a package where you want to fatigue her, but the correct way currently in my head is that you should try to do it efficiently. So keep a high blue count, but play maybe on the Downblade and try to push damage and just demand cards. And eventually, yeah, unless she boards into the combo. But then, like, there is this problem where if they board into the combo and you actually end up being the very aggressive Dorinthea, you actually probably can win, because then they might not be able to block it as much as they should be able to. But if you don't do that and they go the D-react, it's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors between you and Verdance on that. But I just prefer the more safer plan, so to speak, to try and fatigue her. I don't think we should be trying to go above her and trying to attack her.
Okay. Fair enough. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is pull up your list from Hamburg, and we'll put the link below, so we don't need to talk about every card. That's not the objective here. But I would appreciate if you'd walk us, or take some time to walk us through some of your individual choices, things that you think have worked very well or not, and have since changed. So I'll kind of turn it over to you, and I can drive, and just let me know where to go.
Okay. So
let's start with your loadout. You've got 3 helms. I think they're relatively self-explanatory.
Yeah, those are quite obvious. I think what could be interesting to explain is some people are still not on, I think, Kabuto into Syndra. I think Kabuto into Syndra is just insane. But it's just at least my opinion. Like, it destroys Wrath of Retribution, and sometimes you can immediately tell if they're gonna swing with Dagger. So I definitely do Kabuto. Then
can you talk to me about Grains? Is that only because of the hybrid build? Why not Courage? What's the logic here?
Oh, Grains. Yeah, I just love grind. I don't have other explanation, maybe, but I just really like attacking, creating resource. You attack pitch yellow, you're kind of threatening 6. If it hits, you're gonna make a vigor and swing for 3 next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then obviously her boots speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Right. So moving into the main board. So I do see that you're on a rainbow of Warrior's Valor, which I would say in the the overall scheme of where Dory players are right now, that's a bit of an anomaly. So why the rainbow Valor?
Consistency. Okay. I think that's. I don't want to make it more complicated. It's the one word I think that explains it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And then with Decimator too, right? Let's keep in mind for folks that this does work with any weapon. So it gives you higher blue count, I'm sure, with, you mentioned, actually, what are you on? You're on 24 blues in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, this is when I was still not, Verdance was not as much on my radar. It was only after the calling.
Okay, fair enough. The rest of this actually looks pretty standard, although three routes. I think a lot of folks are playing 2 routes. So for your 3, is that also kind of like leaning into Decimator primarily, or?
Yes. So the moment I got a bit more into Warrior, there was also this video of. There was an interview with a person who almost made top 8 in Copenhagen with Dorinthea, and he explained a lot of the logic behind Vault and how powerful that can be when you want to maintain the counters. And for me, the way I think about it is because there is also the 3 red overpower and the 3 red route, and this is just to really overcome decks that will try to block. And yeah, I want to maintain the counter. So this is, at the time, this was my answer to the Earth Heroes. This is at least how I theoretically thought about it, and that's why I picked it.
Okay. Sounds good. And then, the blue package, I'd say the, Fatal Engagement, that's kind of, that we've seen that more and more, but that's one that's less popular. So this one worked out pretty well for you, or where are you at on this currently?
I like it a lot.
Okay.
Many people don't, but for me, it goes on to the same thing, because this card also converts. When it converts like more or less a normal reaction, and it's a blue that blocks 3. That's why I play it.
Okay. Makes sense. And then, I mean, for the rest of this, I think pretty self-explanatory. So let's move over to your, we did not mention that you've been playing a ton of PQs. You just came from PQ earlier today for you as well. And this is the deck that you're currently on, is that correct?
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
I completely drop it. Yeah, I completely drop it. But I have to say one thing that people are probably not watching out enough on, and I think it's actually pretty cool tech, is something I also copied from Osaka, Battle Hardened, Gore Belching with double overcrowded. It's a 0 for 6, and you can really sidestep with Dory. Sometimes you give go again, they block out, they think, okay, everything is good, and then you just drop a 0 for 6.
Got it. And then this is, I mean, everybody's on this card. This is a super popular card out of Super Slam.
The card, yes. Yeah, this one, yes. But the Gore Belching is a bit of a... I have not been seeing it unlist.
That's actually kind of hot. I actually hadn't really considered. That's pretty hot, actually. I like that. Okay. So then obviously this is a hot streak 3 swing build. One thing I could use some help with, Sharpened Senses. I see that this is a very popular card. I don't really get this card. How often are you getting, again, if you're going 3 wide, the value on this is really, really good. So no argument there, but you've got to make sure that they're all above double, which isn't super easy. So talk to me about this card and how often it works for you.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work? Okay.
We put it quite well. It doesn't. It's quite inconsistent, and I really regret putting it. I just didn't have enough time to test this build. I came up with it in the last moment yesterday, and I really regret switching to it. The only thing I liked about it was the Gore Belching, but I was really trying to combat Verdance in some way, and I wanted to see can I just grind her out by swinging, as you just mentioned, 2 even 3 times, trying to just really poke enough, just enough attacks and force blocks with awkward breakpoints. Okay,
fair enough. Well, then we won't. If you're saying that you're abandoning this, we won't spend too much time on this one.
The more interesting one was the one I played last week on Sunday. I made top 4 at the PQ. You can maybe even look that up in the link through the versions. Like it's, I think, version 1.6 or so.
Oh, you mean on the...
Yeah, it's on the same deck list. In the versioning of February.
In this one?
I do not see anything currently on the screen.
Oh. Because I have it hidden. That's right.
Then maybe it was 1.5. Wherever it says EEKLO, it's the name of the city. Okay. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one, like you can open like in the deck builder. If you go up in February, if you want to just show it the whole deck, it's very simple. Like you can go to, I think, cards. Yeah. And then here, it doesn't give you to change version here. If you go up there, it says latest version. Up there, right? Left. Sorry, left.
Got it. Well, that's cool. You're teaching me things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Nice, perfect. And so now maybe I can give you some posts to be easier to edit. And so from here on, with this build, what I was trying to really do is overwhelm with attack reactions. It actually worked really, really well, pretty much against everything except Verdance. The only losses in the Swiss were to Verdance, and unfortunately in the top 4 I actually lost to a Syndra. But I really, when I look at this list, I realized what I missed was the fact that I removed all the D-reacts. I tried to be really overly aggressive to combat Verdance, which in the end still didn't work, even though I tried so hard on that. And yeah, then I lost that game. It was still very close, but it didn't happen.
Sure. Yeah, I'd think it's pretty hard to race Syndra if she's consistently getting masked. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I can tell you one funny story though.
Sure.
This is something I have prepared because it's about the feature match that you watched. The thing is, I was quite fairly due on Dory. So even though I had an idea, yes, that you're supposed to fatigue Vincent, it was not immediately what I had practiced or came into the event with. But on that same day, my best friend with whom I was at the event with, he plays first round, he plays Syndra into a Vincent. And the Vincent inversed existence his daggers on turn 0, essentially. And at this point, my friend was like, okay, then I'll just fatigue him. That's the plan. And he managed to fatigue that Vincent with Syndra. So when I faced down my opponent on round 6, it was already immediately in my head, if my friend can fatigue a Vincent with Syndra, why shouldn't I just then try to do the same? I block really well, and he's gonna deal a lot of damage to himself. And it was that maybe made me immediately commit on that plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, it's gonna be that game. I'm gonna be blocking and just be disciplined. This was the only thing that was constantly in my head. Hey, keep blocking, send whenever you can, and that should work.
Yeah, it's a tricky match in my opinion because your ability to successfully fatigue depends on how much damage you can put into them early, right? And I think that was, I don't remember your match blow for blow, but I think you were able to get them down maybe 10 or maybe even a little more than that points early, and then you were able to kind of pivot. But I appreciated watching that match because I thought it was really, really well done.
I think what is also really important is the Malefic incantations and the fact that he popped the arms piece very early. That immediately gave me, okay, he doesn't have Malefic incantations, he already popped the arm piece. He will probably have hard time to get gas on unless he gets at least 2 incantations in time, and he was not getting them. And I'm like, until you hit them, I can play my game like this. I don't need to be pressuring you at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough. All right. So what are you thinking, or what do things look like for you going forward? Obviously, we've got a couple weeks of ProCast season left. You're going to stay on Dory and keep chasing with that, or what do things look like for you?
Yes. So the plan is to keep playing Dory. Keep on the currently main would be the Dawnblade plan, but I'm gonna try to. I really try to attack usually at unexpected angles, or maybe you could say, of course, for the more experienced players in the game, they could expect anything and be prepared for anything. But I like stuff like gore belching. Mm-hmm. I like stuff like that because I don't have a lot of time to practice. So I like finding the decks that are not commonly played and giving them a chance. And even though today the build didn't work, to me it's just okay, it's one failed experiment, we move on, and let's try to find that niche build that works for me. And this is what is my plan into the next few weeks into ProQuest season, because I'm also gonna go play in the Calling in Valencia. Mm-hmm. And what I would really want to do is really try my best to find the most optimal build, at least for myself, for Dory.
Mm-hmm. And do you see that being a pivot build, or do you think you're just gonna go straight Dawnblade?
I'm quite certain of myself that I will be trying to fatigue more.
Okay.
I really like the whole idea of just the whole warrior thing being so consistently pressuring your opponent. You're constantly threatening fatigue while you're applying pressure. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough. So before we get out of here, any shout outs you'd like to give, teammates, or where can we find you? Let's hear about it.
Yeah, so I play in Den Haag in Netherlands. The big shout out is to the team Rowdy Wokos, but most above all to my best friend Mihai Zorilla, who plays Syndra, and he plays the most innovative, to me at least, or like he really plays Syndra with a different angle.
Awesome. Yeah. And where can folks find you online, or maybe not find you online?
I was about to say that's just not gonna happen. I don't have any social media except for LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the only place, the only social media place that I use.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair, and it's probably very, very mentally healthy. I'll say that for sure. Well, cool. Well, thank you for taking time from your evening, especially after grinding a ProQuest today, to talk with us. I really appreciated going back with you and landing on the time zones. It can be very hard. So thank you for being flexible and for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Before we get out, anything else you want to say?
Oh, no, not really.
Okay. Well, there's one last thing you got to say then with me. You know how we sunset here. Go Commando.
Go Commando.